White supremacy is not about oppressing non-white people. White supremacy is not aimed at black people. White supremacy is not about exalting so-called white people. And white supremacy is not a philosophy based on science or any objective truth. So what is white supremacy? White supremacy, plain and simply, is a set of puppet strings designed to control the masses and manipulate them into doing whatever elitists want. That's what it was from the beginning, and that's what it always will be. So as long as it's there, they'll be controlled by elitists and doing all kinds of things that the masses may not want to do. But because they're blinded by it, it's like this opiate that keeps them from seeing the truth about what's going on. Elitists will always be able to manipulate them like pawns into doing whatever they want and make them believe that they're the leaders that have only their best interests at heart, when elitists are never like that. There's a certain psychological effect that comes along with being elitist. They become self-centered, they start to objectify the people around them. It's that old story of how absolute power corrupts absolutely. Well, white supremacy is a tool that allows that to function in plain sight without us realizing it. Because it seems like these people have the group's best interest, that they're the leaders of this big demographic, the white people, when really what they're doing is they're furthering their agenda. And what is the elite's agenda? It's always becoming more and more rich and more powerful. They can use that and develop the groupthink mentality. And a big part of the groupthink mentality often is looking at the out-group. So whoever's not in the group, and you make them seem like a threat. And this fear and this desire to be part of the group blinds people to rational thinking. You can get them to do whatever you want. You can get them to go slaughter somebody. You can get them to give up their own rights and freedoms just so they can pledge allegiance to whoever the leaders happen to be. So don't think of white supremacy as this philosophy that seeks to exalt white people, because what it is, it's a philosophy of elitists used to control people. That's plain and simply, that's what it is. Everybody else, other than the elitists who are spouting it, they're just pawns in the game. And their needs, their wants, their aspirations are irrelevant, actually, in the final analysis. So if they need to be cannon fodder or whatever to further the elite's agenda, that's fine. And if they can get people to follow that agenda, their agenda, without ever questioning it, all the better. And they need this philosophy to make that happen. So if it was gone, and people in general thought with their own minds, and they came to a collective kind of consensus about how to move in society, things would be better. But what's the bad thing there? Elitists would be less relevant. They would still be there, but they'd just be individuals like everybody else. So white supremacy isn't about exalting so-called white people. It's an opiate that seeks to keep us from perceiving the convoluted cage we've all been trapped in.